Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. This one is more of a vlog style video because we've hit a big milestone, and that's 6,000 subscribers. It just happened this past week, crossed over this milestone. I meant to do this one when we hit 5,000, but I'm using the opportunity where we've hit 6,000 subscribers to talk to you, to really thank you for coming along with me on this YouTube journey so far to date. It's been an interesting ride the last 8 months to see where this channel first started off from, and then now in August of 2025, where it's gone to. And I'm hoping in this video to talk to all of you about my journey so far, to kind of articulate some of the fun parts of building a YouTube channel, some of the challenges, some of the changes the channel has undergone over the last 8 months, and then also where I see the channel going from here on out. This video is more of a vlog style, more of a behind the scenes talk about how to build a YouTube channel, and specifically how to build one as a gentleman's content creator and my journey so far. And again, thank you guys so much for joining me on this 8-month journey to date, and I hope you enjoy this video. So first off, I wanted to talk about why I started this channel and why I decided specifically on a gentleman's content or a gentleman's lifestyle channel. It was about a year and a half ago, at the beginning of 2024, when I really wanted to do something outside of my corporate job at the time. I needed some sort of creative outlet. I was working in consulting and grinding 10, 11, 12-hour days, and I wanted something that allowed me to express myself and allowed me to be more authentic, more creative, because my job at the time, although it was in marketing, there was no really creative outlet for me. And I've always been someone that's consumed a lot of YouTube, but never really saw myself as someone that would start a channel. And then at some point I was like, I need to do something, so I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. And I've always been passionate about gentleman's culture, classy culture, this high society. And starting a YouTube channel speaking about something that I'm passionate about just seemed like the right fit. So I've had this passion for gentleman's culture, gentleman's lifestyle, and there's no real avenue in everyday life to express that. Our culture has declined a lot. There's not really so much culture anymore. It's very casual. And so I wanted to create something unique that called not only other people that watch these videos, but also myself to be a better man, to be a gentleman, and to explore what it means to be a gentleman in the modern world. It feels like a lot of men these days are stuck being boys. They're boys in a man's body, right? Being a boy is you're immature, you have no responsibility, no direction in life, and you're just kind of mooching off others. Being a man is you have responsibility, you're mature, you're taking action, you have your life together. And that's the difference between a boy and a man. But then being a gentleman on top of that is someone that takes it the extra mile. It's someone that appreciates the finer things in life. It's someone that's well-mannered, well-spoken, well-dressed, all of these other things as well. And it's that refined man. And that's what I wanted to be. That's what I wanted to create a channel on. I wanted a place to explore these various gentleman topics, to learn how to be a gent and to share it with you. And so my hope with this YouTube channel is to create and build a community of like-minded men that love gentleman's style, gentleman's lifestyle, gentleman's culture, that appreciate that are trying to be better men, that are trying to learn how to be gentlemen. And we can all come together on this YouTube channel to learn how to be gentlemen together and then connect with each other. Because again, in our world that's in decline, where it seems like there's just so much degeneracy around, I wanted to create something that did the opposite of that. The other thing too is I think I bring a unique flavor to the gentleman space. I'm not someone that's very, rigid. I don't think a gentleman is someone that wears a suit every single day, all the time. I think a gentleman is someone that carries himself with dignity and respect. He's well-mannered, well-spoken, well-dressed. My number one modern gentleman inspiration is Sir David Beckham. I think he's the absolute number one modern gentleman in our world today. Not only does he dress well, but he dresses well across a wide variety of clothing, no matter what he's wearing. But the other thing too is he carries himself in a respectful and dignified way. Other inspirations, Alain Delon is another good one. I've already mentioned Roberto Mancini is another famous one. The classics, Cary Grant, Sean Connery, just all of the James Bond actors too. Pierce Brosnan is my favorite actor, and I would say he's a great example of a modern gentleman. So those are kind of the men that I draw inspiration from, but there's also some publications that I read on the daily and some other people that I look to for inspiration. Number one is the Gentleman's Journal. I've been subscribed to them for a long time and they post some great content. I love how they do a mix of gentleman's content, but do it in kind of a fun, modern way. That's definitely a similar flavor that I'm trying to do. I also love The Rake. The Rake is another great one. And then there's a couple influencer people that I follow or accounts that I follow. The Gentleman's Gram is a great one, run by @Moreno-Filippo, I think is how you pronounce that. That's one I've been following for a while. And then him and his friends created Tuxedo Society, so I've been following them. So those are kind of the main places where I draw a lot of inspiration from for the aesthetic for this channel and where I'm going to be taking this channel. So that's kind of why I started this channel. Now I'm going to be talking about my journey so far and how my life has changed over the course of the last year and a half or so. So I started this channel, I made the channel in July of 2024, and I started this channel as a podcast originally, a podcast called Gent's Club, because I had this idea of I wanted to bring together successful men doing interesting things and have conversations over drinks. I have a big network here in Toronto, and I have a lot of interesting men that I can pull in to have conversations with from across all different industries. So it's like, why don't I create a channel where I can pick these men's brains, and I enjoy learning, I enjoy conversing. So it just seemed like a no-brainer idea. And then I also received this book, Shaken, Drinking with Ian Fleming and James Bond. So it's all the cocktails from all the different James Bond movies and books. So I thought, why not create a YouTube channel for men, featuring men, high-minded men doing interesting things, and I'll make some drinks when I have them on. And we'll just talk about life. We'll talk about what they're doing in their jobs and what interesting things that they're up to. The purpose of it was to resurrect that idea of the traditional gentleman's club, a space that's men only, a space where you dress up to attend, you have good drinks, and you have good conversations. Because when I was in school, I was a part of a fraternity that was male only, and that was a space where I thought was very valuable to have that kind of male camaraderie, and I missed that. But I wanted something that was more mature, that was the adult version of that. And over the last several decades, we've seen these male-only spaces constantly be turned into either co-ed spaces or go extinct. And so I think men in this current landscape are suffering a lot, especially young men. We don't have a lot of mentorship, don't have a lot of friends, don't have a lot of sense of community because society's destroyed a lot of these male-only spaces and have left us kind of alone and with nothing. There's some stat out there that says that a large number of men don't have any close friends. So that's kind of the climate that we're in, and I wanted to resurrect this tradition of a gentleman's club. And then I had a big rethink for this channel in the direction that I wanted to take it. I decided I could go farther and faster with shorter form content. And so that's when I changed the channel from these, instead of doing like an hour and a half podcast, to 5 to 12 minute videos. And it would allow me to explore various gentlemen's topics and actually learn how to be a gentleman and actually do fun topics too. Like I could still make drinks, I could still talk about style and that I've had a background in. And it allowed me to put out more content too. And the other thing too is when I was in high school, I used to read a lot of GQ. Right, GQ magazine, and I actually wanted to work at GQ magazine. That was like the top job for me, especially after seeing like the movie. Everybody knows the movie Friends with Benefits with Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis. I was like, that was what I wanted to do, was work at like a fun fashion magazine like that. I thought that would be so fun. But GQ doesn't really talk about how to be a gentleman, even though it's called Gentleman's Quarterly. And it just became this kind of bland men's magazine. And you see some of the fashion that they speak about. It's like street style, like oversized stuff. I'm like, this doesn't appeal to me anymore. It's just not it. And so I thought maybe I'll create a YouTube channel that speaks to a lot of those topics that I thought GQ should be speaking to, and do it in video format because that's more interesting. And then I get to learn, I get to experience these things as well, and I get to teach all of you and take you along this journey with me. And so that's why I changed my channel from Gent's Club, which was the podcast, to Gent HQ, right? The headquarters of all things gentlemen. And I still like that idea. I had a lot of success. I remember my first video to blow up was, I did a video on old money trends. Once I had that initial success, that was when I started rethinking my channel direction even more so. I thought I would start this gentleman's channel where I'm speaking to these topics and then also build a personal brand at the same time under my own name, Nick Alexander. And when I had those initial videos blow up on Gent HQ, I started rethinking that idea, because building two different brands at the same time, two different YouTube channels, two different social medias, it's a lot of work. I love the idea of Gent HQ. I love the idea of exploring these topics. However, I think it's best to do this under my own personal name. And so that's when I changed the channel. I think it was in May of this year, to my own personal brand name. And then I started to kind of expand and do more wider fashion content, because I kind of just put out whatever came to mind in the gentleman space, or whatever kind of classy content was first to mind. And what that ended up doing was it created a wide audience capture. And when you're a new channel, you really need to go niche in the beginning and stick with specific things. And so when I changed to my personal name, I thought I would focus on fashion. So I did fashion, but I did all kinds of fashion, went a little bit too generic. And then I just refined it a little bit more a few months ago. And so now I'm doing under my own brand name, but I'm doing Gent's style and lifestyle. That's kind of why I started the channel, my journey so far to date. Now I wanted to chat about the ups, the downs, and the lessons learned so far. So I've kind of spoken to some of these already, but there's been so many ups over the last 8 months. The biggest ones were first video to blow up, the old money trends video that hit 20,000 views back in March of 2025. The first video to hit 50,000 views, that was the old money watches video. And then the first video to hit 150,000 views, which is still crazy to me. But it goes to show you that if you have an interesting topic and you can convey it in a half decent way, people will watch it. The other thing too is I love all of the positive comments, but I'm very grateful for all those positive comments, because you have no idea how much work actually goes in to making just one video. Every video takes about 2 days to produce, a day to write scripts and film, and then another day to edit everything. So the other thing too is every new subscriber that subscribes to my channel, that's a massive win. To go from 0 subscribers in 2024 to then having that initial video blow up in March of 2025, and then have that video go viral in the Gents Club video go viral in April 2025. And to see that subscriber count go from where it was to now over 6,000 is insane. It's a really validating feeling that people love the topics that I'm talking about. They enjoy hearing me talk about them. They're getting something out of these videos. That's a great feeling. Okay, challenges. Challenges so far, the last 8 months. The number one challenge when building a YouTube channel, and for me as a content creator, is when you work so hard on a video and it receives little views or no views. Right now with the YouTube algorithm, I'm in algorithm jail. So I'll put out a ton of videos. It was doing well. I was receiving 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 views on videos. And I just wasn't consistent because I was doing some stuff on the side and busy with life. So that's first, is minimal views. Second, the negative comments were tough. There hasn't been that many, to be honest with you, but some of the comments where people are just commenting random things, and it's like, what are you doing? And they're just saying something like that. It's like, okay, you really just have nothing better to do with your time. So I always remember that, and I'm like, I'm okay. It's kind of fun. Some of them are kind of funny, to be honest. But number 3, this has been a big challenge, and that's not having a ton of money. And so not having enough money to invest back into this YouTube channel. And that's why you kind of just need to start where you are. The other big issue that I'm having is correct audience capture and ensuring that I'm finding the correct demographic, as well as people interested in gentleman's style and lifestyle. And so when I had those initial videos that blew up in the spring, what happened was that it skewed my audience like a lot older. I think it's just refining, and that's part of the whole journey of learning, is trying to find your correct audience, and then also trying to find men that are interested in this idea of being a modern gentleman. I had to make a new cup of tea. Okay, so let's talk about the biggest lessons that I've learned in the last 8 months of doing YouTube. So if I could go back to January 2025, the first lesson, And the first thing I would have done differently is I would have gone more niche than when I started. So I mentioned how when I changed my channel from the podcast Gents Club to Gent HQ, I was putting out a wide variety of gentlemen's content. I did cars, I did Gents Club, I did drinks, I did style, I did a workout video, I did videos on books, I did everything. And then my podcast was still up at the time as well. And so that was kind of confusing the algorithm, all of these different videos. If you're starting a YouTube channel, especially if you have under 10,000 followers, stay as niche as you can. That's number one. Number two, stay consistent. This is a big one. If I could go back to January 2025, I would have put out 3 videos a week, 3 niche videos a week, every single week, and not missed a single week. Even if it meant sacrificing editing. And this is one thing that I learned is I thought it would be better if I invested more time in editing and did less videos a week. If I could go back, I would do less time editing and more videos a week, but still making decent quality videos. And then the last lesson, number 3, is I would say focus on capturing the correct audience. This kind of goes with being niche. I wish that I sat myself down January 1st, 2025 and said, okay, we need to be as niche as possible. This is the exact target audience that we're going to. Males in Western countries, 20, 25 to 45-ish, and drilled in content for them. Men interested in gentlemen's content specifically. That would be the other thing, is just making sure you capture the correct audience. It is a challenge. Some videos you'll put out will go with a completely different audience that you never would have thought. I've had several videos where I've put out that have either skewed much older, like 65 plus, or skewed with an audience in a completely different part of the world that I never thought would have watched my videos. But I'm thankful for any of you, to be honest. But in training the YouTube algorithm, you really need to focus on one target audience. So stay niche, stay consistent, and focus on capturing the correct target audience. Those would be my 3 lessons learned. Okay, and the last part, let's talk about the road ahead. My goal for this channel is to arrive at a place where I'm going to various gentlemen's lifestyle events, these kind of classy experiences and activities, and then taking all of you along with me. One of my biggest YouTube inspirations, who I've been watching for a long time in a different space, is Mike Thurston. He started off, for anyone that doesn't know, he's a personal trainer and fitness influencer, and he started off making videos many years ago on how to work out, nutrition, that kind of thing. So here are the best dumbbell exercises, here are the best bicep exercises, here's how to squat properly. And he transitioned that away from talking specifically about exercises you should be doing to a men's lifestyle or fitness lifestyle vlogger, where he is now traveling around and doing various vlog videos, still about himself, but about himself still with a fitness element, but he's also incorporating travel and all of these other things. I kind of want to do something similar, where I'm right now talking about being a gentleman, these various gentlemanly topics, style, lifestyle, culture. But I would like to arrive at a point, once I start making money, where I can actually go to these experiences and bring all of you along with me. I think that would be so fun. But for the next year, hoping to land a job before the end of the year, and then we'll see if I continue to do 3 videos. Once I land the job, it might go down to 2, but whatever I do, I am going to remain consistent and hopefully fix the algorithm by the end of the year. I'm hoping to blow up from 6,000 subscribers, where I'm at now, to hopefully 25,000 by the end of the year. That would be amazing. And for the next year into 2026, if I can get this YouTube channel to a place where I can do it full time, that would be my number 1 goal. I would say getting to a place where I'm doing it full time, and while also building an authentic community. Those are really my top 2 goals for the next year. You know, down the line, 2, 3, 4 years out, I have a lot of ideas on where I can take this channel and the kind of community that I can make. Like I said, I'm fascinated with gentlemen's lifestyle experiences and building a gentlemen's community. So something along the ideas of maybe building and launching an actual gentlemen's club, a traditional one, not a strip club, but an actual gentlemen's club, and resurrecting that tradition. Ideally in person might be kind of a thing, maybe an online community, I'm not sure. But doing something along that lines, going to more gentlemen's experiences, I like that. Maybe it'll be an exclusive club where I take men on these kind of exclusive or luxury experiences, I'm not sure. But I have a lot of ideas that I can bring to the table, and I'm excited to see where this takes us. But like I said, I really just want to build an authentic community of men and be consistent over the next year. And that's it. So thanks again for all of you for watching me and coming along on this journey to 6,000 subscribers, especially if you've been here since the beginning. Thank you so much. This is really what I want to do in life, is to be a content creator, to build my own business. So the fact that all of you are here watching this video, especially if you made it to the end of this video where I've been rambling on. But thank you so much, gents. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. I'll see you in the next one.